that each one of the Rotarians are doing the most that they can, but doing what they enjoy. So you need to make sure that every Rotarian has a meaningful role to play and that they're all making a contribution. And make sure that their contribution is valued, because if a member doesn't feel valued, well, they're just going to walk out the door. So, and a member that's engaged, they're enjoying their Rotary experience, they're more likely to talk to other people about what they're doing. They'll stay in Rotary and then they'll bring more members, and they'll make a difference. And if every member who joined Rotary stayed, we wouldn't be talking about membership all the time. But I guess we need to look also at our own clubs, and we have to think about, if we were ready to join Rotary today, would we join our club? And if we wouldn't, why wouldn't we? And what would we need to do to make the Rotary Club more attractive to ourselves as well as to those around us, and a club that we can be proud of? Main thing, obviously, that we have to do is to ask. And, you know, we tend to forget about that. We get people to come along and we tell them all about Rotary, but we just don't seem to think about asking them to join Rotary, and they just drift away. Ron Burton actually talked about his experience as a student in college, and he said he was in the Key Club, and it is our Rotaract Club of the Kiwanis. The Kiwanis is a big American organisation, and he just assumed that when he left college that he would join Kiwanis, but no one ever asked him to. But someone asked him to join Rotary, so that's why he's the RI president of Rotary. So, but no one bothered to ask. So that's why I think one of the big things that we have to remember is to always ask. And there's a 50-50 chance, but if we don't ask, we don't get. And, you know, we have to remember that we all joined Rotary for different reasons. It's not always the reason that we stay. But when Rotarians get involved, they get very passionate, they get engaged, and they can change lives. And the more you get out of Rotary, the more content you'll be and the more likely you'll be to stay in Rotary. And you'll also invite others to join. But always remember that membership, it's not my job and it's not your job, it's everybody's job. But one thing I guess we've got to remember is that we don't overburden people when they do. We don't overload them, because they're going to be really, really enthusiastic, and they'll put their hand up for everything. But if we keep saying, yeah, sure, let them do it, they'll get tired and we lose them. So I guess the next one is enhanced humanitarian service through our foundation. And Napoleon Bonaparte actually said, one must change one's tactics every 10 years if one wishes to maintain one's superiority. And you all know that Rotarians don't change easily. 10 years is probably, would be exciting if we could ever change in 10 years, but that's something to think about as well. We really need to look at change. And this year is probably the start of one of the biggest changes in our foundation, and it's the launch of Future Vision. But the whole concept of it is to modernise the foundation and streamline the grant system. It will make the larger, more focused projects which are more sustainable. And if they're sustainable, will have continued impact without the continued investment. So that'll lead to larger, longer lasting and more impact. And that's really what we need to do the impact and get out there and let people know what we're doing. It's encouraging larger, more focused projects. It's not trying to isolate clubs that don't have the money to do the bigger projects. It hopefully will get them to work together. But if they're larger projects, they're going to gain more impact, and that's what we need to do. And it addresses both the communities we serve, the international and the local communities, and that's what we'll do, getting out there, changing more lives for the better. The Rotary Foundation trustees have also realised that what we need to do is form strategic partnerships, like any organisations these days do. The Aga Khan University, Mercy Ships, UNESCO, Dolly Parton Imagination Library, they're just a few, plus they're aligned with a few government partners and so forth. And I think this is probably what we need to do. And it's a big thing, the foundation changes, so what we really need to do too is to utilise our foundation chair, but also utilise the foundation people at RDU, get them to come and talk to you, explain it all to you. I mean, I myself, even getting your head around it, it's a big thing, because it is, it's just so totally different. I guess the final goal for Ron was to strengthen the network of Rotary through our family of Rotary. And if you think about it, we belong to a really large global family. And it's not only our club, and it's our district, it's out there. You can go to anywhere in the world and visit a Rotary club. So it's a huge, huge thing. But don't forget about the family of Rotary that's closer to us. It's a huge family, really, when you think about it. You've got members of your district, you've got members of your zone. You've got your youth exchange students, you've got your Rotaractors, the kids that we send out to RIPE and RILA, all of those sort of things. Don't forget about them. We're all saying that we're getting older, we can't cope with the workload ourselves, so draw on the youth, but with them maybe we can pull a few of their family members in as well. How many Rotarians do you find that have formed lasting relationships with their youth exchange people? They get invited to their weddings overseas, the whole lot. So just remember that it was said by one of our past RI presidents that it's not hard to walk away from a group. Sorry, it's hard to walk away. It's not hard to walk away from a group in which you have no investment, but it is hard to leave the family. So if we can make all of our members feel like they're part of this big family, there's less chance that they're going to walk out the door. And I guess probably one of our most important goals, and something we need to keep paramount in our minds, is our charity, the foundation. It's what allows us to do good in the world. And we need to remember all the things that we do in Rotary can't be done without the support that we give to our charity, the foundation. So remember to keep up your support. I'm not saying don't give to any other charities, but just remember that the foundation, that is our charity, and it is what allows us to keep doing all that we're doing. Now, Rob's here, and Steve's ready to, he's really on your case when you get back, Rob. We came up with this idea of a ride, and it's going to raise what we've thought about. This is between Stephen and I. Then we've talked about doing this ride, which will take from Merimbula at the beginning and do a ride around our district and finish in Merimbula to launch the district conference. So we put a little bit more thought, and it's working, Rob. We're starting to work really well on that. But the thought now is that what we'll do is use this as a vehicle to promote polio. We're really, really close to finishing off the job, so we can't lay back now and just take it easy, because if we give up now, it'll come back, and it'll come back with a vengeance and bite us severely. So one of our thoughts were that we'll do this ride. I've been talking about it as I go around. So it'll be a motorbike ride. There'll be any Rotarians that ride bikes, or anyone, friends that they might like to ask along. We'll try and get sponsors for the riders, but we'll also work a plan. So for morning tea and lunch, they'll stop off in towns along the way, and hopefully they'll promote End Polio Now through their local press, media, whatever, and let them know that they're coming to town and what they're doing, and set up stalls where they can display all the paraphernalia for End Polio Now, and maybe sell some of the End Polio Now badges. The guys will ride in on their bikes. I'm going to try and get End Polio Now patches for their backs. So hopefully we'll get a bit of media attention as well as raise a few funds through sponsorships and selling our pins. So that's in the works at the present moment, and he's working on a plan. So people might ride for one day, they might ride for 7 days, whatever they want to do themselves. And various clubs that I've visited so far are quite keen on it and looking at sponsoring it. I guess, and I said with polio, a lot of people have stated that we're not getting the press that we really need to get. Well, it's up to us. We have to be the ones to promote it, because there are other people out there, and I'm not belittling what we've put into it. We've put in in excess of $1.2 billion, $1.8 billion actually. But we've been out there and we've been on the coalface as well. We've been actually doing immunisations and supporting them and so forth. But, you know, there's a lot of organisations. We instigated it and the others are following us, but we're not getting as much press as we need. So hopefully this will be one way that we can do it. I guess one of the things that's close to my heart is that we need to educate Rotarians, because as much as we've all been around a long time, there's also a lot of things that we don't know, and it's surprising how many don't know a lot of. You ask about the foundation, you ask about anything, and there's always questions, or we don't know, or whatever. So the Rotary Leadership Institute, and I know it sounds ominous, but it's not what it appears. It's not designed for those that want to go on to be a district governor or to take on higher roles. It's basically a learning skill for us. It's getting to know your Rotary. It'll teach you about leadership skills, and it's leadership in your club or leadership on a project. It can be anything like that, but it's personal development and networking. So we've got about 4 sessions we're going to run through the year, and hopefully get as many Rotarians as we can to come along and talk to people outside their own Rotary clubs. So I think that's really important. I think you'd be surprised actually how much you'll get out of it and how much you'll learn about Rotary. And again, you'll be more comfortable talking to other people about Rotary. So getting close to the end, I'm sorry guys. Children's Medical Emergency Fund, it's going quite well, but remember, I don't know how many of you know about that, but remember it's there if you know of any child that's in a medical emergency. Now it doesn't have to be for an operation or anything like that. It can be just a thing of registering the car so that they can get to medical appointments, or put the fuel in the car to go to them, or whatever. But if you have anyone like that, Steve's name, email is in the book, in the directory. Send it along to him, he'll get an application form out to you, and we'll have a look at it and see what we can do to help. I'll finish off, and you're probably saying, oh thank God, but a couple of ads. First, remember the conference in Maureen. I touched on that with the bike ride. That starts October 11th and finishes on 13th. We've got some excellent speakers already in place. We've got Lane Beachley. She's 7 times world surfing champion, but she's also, I think, 3rd greatest Australian female athlete of all times, behind Dawn Fraser and Betty Cuthbert. She's also director of the Lane Beachley Aim for the Stars Foundation. Greg McKee, he's a biologist, marine biologist, but he also is a designer for the animation in various movies like Babe in the City, Matrix, Happy Feet, and so on. Dr. Anne Gallagher, now she's world recognised for her knowledge in the areas of human trafficking response and criminal justice. And Saturday night dinner will be a really good night. It is a dinner and show. We have Frankie J. Holden and the Stumbling Wilburys, and it should be a great night. It's the theme of Under the Sea. So that, it's great. The work they've already put into it is just mind-boggling. Lastly, with Stephen, he has a project that we've put in place, and we're looking at supporting Purple House, Kintore. It's an amazing project, and as you know, it was something that was started, it was probably our first matching grant that was done in Australia, and it was sponsored by a Rotary Club in Korea, I think 3650. But Belconnen and Woden, Daybreak, I think, have had a lot of work to do with it as well. So what we've done is we've got a raffle together, and all prizes have been donated, so every dollar that we raise will go to this. First prize is a week's accommodation at the luxurious sanctuary in Palm Cove, plus airfares. The second one is, Steve does a lot of woodworking, so he has a wine rack. It stands about 5 foot tall, I suppose. Holds 24 wine bottles on like a tree, on an angle, so like a tree type thing. And we'll even throw in the 2 dozen bottles of wine to fill it all up for you. And the third one's a deluxe villa up to 6 people at the Big Four in Nelligan, and they'll throw in a half-day canoe or boat hire and half-day bike hire. So I'll get those raffle tickets out to you, Ross, $5 a ticket, and if you have them back to us by the time of conference, because we'll draw it at the district conference. So all the ads out of the way, and thanks very much for allowing me to be district governor for 2013-14. And remember, I'm here for you guys. I mean, if there's anything I can do to help, please just let me know. I don't know all the answers, but I have a lot of people around me that can help. I will come back and come back the answers if I don't have them. And thanks very much for your attention. Any questions today?
Thank you, Maureen. Thanks, Maureen. Is there anybody? Can you hear me, Maureen?
Yep.
Oh, good. Is there anyone? Does anyone have a question of Maureen, please?
Yes, President Ross, it's Rob here.
Yes, mate.
Yeah, Rob.
Alice Springs. Maureen will certainly fully support Steve's ride and join in for as much of it as we can.
Good, because otherwise you'd be in deep, dire trouble.
I figured that. We've also this week been to see Sarah Brown at the Purple House. And, and spent an hour with her, which was fantastic.
Yeah, she's just sent me down a whole lot of, I spoke with her actually, and she sent me down a whole lot of information I'll be able to hand out as I'm going around now, so that people can be really informed as to what the Purple House is all about.
Oh, that's great.
Maureen, it's Bruce here.
Yes.
How long do you expect the ride will take? Is it a 7-day event, or how do you see it going?
Well, anywhere between 7 to 10 days. It will depend on the people that want to go on it. And you might not do the whole ride. You might just decide that you can do 2 or 3 days, or you might just want to catch up and do a day ride and then go back home. But it'll be totally up to whoever's in it. But it'll be probably over between 7 and 10 days, depending on the stopovers. But as I said, people so far have been really interested in it and wanting to have them stop over. So even if initially it started out that we were just going to stop each day, but it could end up with 2 days in Canberra and go off to another place and stay. And even accommodation, they talked about, putting up people overnight.
Yeah.
Maureen, it's Ross. My question I have is, or I want to make a point first. I think that the Rotary Club of Kerma is involved with a motorbike excursion type ride through to Thredbo or somewhere like that, which raises money for a major charity. I'm not too sure which one, but I know that when we were down there some years ago, they had that a video of that, and it had raised a lot of money. Perhaps it's worthwhile at least raising it. In fact, I'll do that and just check and get back to you on it. The second thing is, how does Stephen envisage that other people other than people who ride motorbikes can be involved?
That probably will be getting sponsors for the bike riders would be good. But also, as I said, setting up the stall at the stopping points and having some banners and so forth in polio now, and maybe selling in polio now badges. Probably that's the best support that they can get.
Yes, okay. Alrighty, thanks for that. Does anyone else have any question of Maureen?
Just a small point, Maureen. It's David
Well,
Cox.
we go to Darwin now. We can't quite make it that far.
Right, okay.
That's Robert. Maureen, it's Rob here again. As the Australian representative for the Association of Veteran Vintage and Classic Cars, as the Rotary Fellowship, we are looking at holding a rally for the 2014 convention, which may start in Canberra and come down through Batemans Bay to Sydney. Just thought I should mention it to you to let you know that it's in the initial planning stages.
Okay.
Okay. I guess then the only other thing I'd like to say is that with regard to polio, we have followed your lead. Everyone in the club has a pig, or at least should have one, or there's one for everyone in the club anyway, provided by Westpac. And we hope to have $200 in each pig for you.
Excellent.
That's how we go this time next year. So, as I come from the Pig Battalion, the 7th Battalion of the Royal Australian Regiment, it was no problem. Other people might call me a pig for different reasons, but and finally, I'd just like to say thank you very much for talking to us this evening and for visiting us. I guess from time to time, if you would like to visit us, for the time being, we're meeting here at 8 o'clock on Thursdays. But as I said initially, we will be trying to morph into a club that works 24/7 and probably uses this time for specialist type discussions. It might well be about the website. It might be about one of the programs that we've got, and to go back to your orientation and the orientation that Ron Burton has given you and us. We've all looked at the little video clip, the 8-10-minute video clip that he had. It was very enlightening and very pleasant, and something that I think people would warm to. Thanks for that. If you're getting back to him, I thought it was great, and I'm sure other members of the club did too. We will keep it on our website in case visitors come and want to learn something about Rotary and about us, and they can see that there. And finally, I'd just like to say best of luck to you and Stephen. We know it's a hard slog, and in fact, one of the enduring qualities of our honorary member is he's never ever mentioned that. Neither has his wife. But we do know the toll that it takes. Good luck, and if we can be of help, let us know. So, on behalf of everybody, I'd just like to say thank you indeed.
Yeah, thanks, Maureen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Maureen.
And without further ado, if you'd like to continue with us as we wind up, or if you would like to leave, that's up to you entirely, Maureen.
Okay, I might go and have some dinner now.
Yeah, right. It sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks very much. It's really interesting to do.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks very much, Maureen.
Night.
Bye. Bye, and thanks again. Graham, I just want to check that you're still there, are you?
Yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Oh, good on you, Graham. Haven't been able to see you, so that's why I just wanted to check. That's great.
I know, I've been listening there.
Good. Bruce, how's the score?
Ross, can I cut in? Australia are currently none for 29, with Rogers on
Wonderful.
Rogers on 22 and Watson on 7. And that's after about 4 or 5 overs.
Wonderful.
So Warner didn't open. There you go.
No, he's number 6.
Yeah.
Number 6? Yeah.
Where's Quackberry?
3.
Okay.
No, I think, is it 3 or is he still at 5?
4.
He might be 4 or 5, actually.
Yeah, I think he's... I haven't seen the batting order.
Doesn't matter, we won't see him today, hopefully.
That's what I like to hear.
No, well, that's your responsibility, Bruce.
Yeah. No, actually, he's in at number 4.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I thought so, yeah. So he's
Yeah.
gone up one, yeah.
That-
Yeah.
Okay. Right, now, for Christine, have you been able to survey the things that David changed to allow you to access the website and the various parts of the website?
I've just been able to just tonight. I can get into the club administration part of the website now. I still can't work out how you upload documents into the clubhouse, into the documents section. I don't get any options to upload documents.
No, neither do
That's
I.
really
agree
where
with that.
I think we should be maintaining our club records. And I think we've got an opportunity as a fairly new club to actually start maintaining our records well, sort of centrally and electronically, and I just can't work out how to do it. I don't have any options there to do that. So
Why aren't we watching it on the screen and he can show us how to do it now?
Just before we do that, folks. Has anybody got two computers open? Because we're getting a lot of echo.
No, someone who's using
Either,
someone who's using microphone and speakers has got the speakers up too loud, and we're getting a feedback loop.
yeah. I thought it might have been Maureen, but she's off now, and
No,
it's not
could have been me.
Yeah, it's gone away
Hello,
now.
any better? Yeah.
How's that?
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I turned our speakers down.
Good.
Great. Great.
Okay. Right. So what you can see my screen, I think.
Yep.
Yep.
And documents. All right. So let's go and go to fundraising. Okay. So add a document. Do you see this, Christine? Add a document.
I don't get those options when I go into
Neither do I.
So I only have
Right.
two things that, let me just open up our website.
Yep.
And I think this is perhaps something, I mean maybe it's not something necessarily for tonight, but I think it's something as a club we need to think about, because it seems like this is a logical place to keep
Yeah.
our
It
club
is.
records.
Agree.
So when I go in there, all it gives me is an option to choose a group to view its documents, and then I can view board members 2013. There's 2 documents there that I can view, or I can view all active members, and there's 2 documents there that I can view. You look like you're the only one who's actually been able to upload those documents, Ian, and so I don't get those other options that you've just got there.
So you don't see fundraising, Dream Cricket, People of Western Desert, any of that?
No, no. Now I can't see your screen. What's happened? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I don't see any. All I see there are the board members and the all active members.
Okay.
Now, maybe you've created those other things, but I don't seem to find, I can't find any options for creating like placeholders for documents or anything like that.
Now you should be able to, add a group. Can you see that one?
Yeah.
Have you got that on yours? Has anybody else got that on theirs? Because I know
I think
Roscoe was able to use it. I think he was. Roscoe, you on? No.
He's just, he is on,
hang
but
on.
he's just logging in.
I'm just logging in, thank you.
Ian,
Okay,
I'm wondering if Christine's access has dropped off, like we were having trouble with various people not being able to have the access that they should have had.
Yeah, we just sorted
I
that
can
out.
add a group. I think I can add a group,
Okay, have you
but
got,
like
have you
I
got-
don't want to add it. I don't necessarily want to add a group. I mean,
I know,
I might want to
yeah.
add a group, but once there's a group, like if there's a group there, the say the board members 2013, there's probably some board documentation that, or there may be some board documentation that I or others might want to provide to other board members. And there'll certainly be documents I want to be able to put up for the whole club.
Yeah, yeah. You should, it's bizarre that you can't see. Can everybody else see those?
No, we've just logged in and all we can see was what Christine could see.
So I wonder, Ian, if have you created all of those groups yourself?
Let me see. No, I don't think so. I'll just see.
All right. So, but
I'll
the ones.
Hang on, I'll just check because I may have.
Because it might come down to what are the privileges for particular groups.
It is. It's about privileges and They're all created by me so far. Nothing in there, so that doesn't matter. Yeah. So it's in this members in club roles place. We should just give everybody club, you know. I'm a bit baffled. David, have you got any clues?
I'm just reading through it on mine, and it's group privileges that's causing the problem.
Yeah, it is.
And so I'm just looking at board members, and I'm seeing what the group privileges for that are. And status. It says private. So in other words, only the people of the board can read it. Okay. So if it's been created for the board, only the board members can see it. The other groups are everyone in the club, and you would hope that everyone in the club is attached to all documents. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, so maybe all active members needs to be...
But it's how do you... So I can see those documents, David, that are already there under those two headings, those two
Can't
groups.
add them.
What I can't work out is how could I upload documents? Because I don't want to be in a situation where I have to send everything to Ian.
No.
No, that's ridiculous.
He won't thank me.
Yeah, that's good. Clubhouse. Discussions. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place.
I mean, it's probably not necessarily something to work out tonight, but if you have a spare moment and you're able to investigate, Ian, that would be great. I have sent an email to the Rotary News Info webmaster asking for advice, but I've received no advice. So,
well, you just can't. Can you add a group?
I think I can add a group, but I want to be able to
add documents.
Add documents to. I mean, otherwise we're going to be in a situation where for anybody to upload a document, they'll have to create a group for that purpose.
That's right. So it's got to be. Where? It's not in here. So, Christine, I've just edited your roles.
No, I did that tonight, Ian, and she's in everything. I've got it ticked on everything.
Yeah. You have too. But it's coming up as club website, not club administration, so...
No, I'm in two places there. If you go back to that other list, I'm there twice. Yeah, so I am there under both. So I can now access those club administration fields.
Okay.
Or tabs. Anyway, but if we could get the documents stuff sorted out, that would be, I think that would really provide us with the tool we're looking for to maintain our records and have shared documents that perhaps people can go in and update and so forth.
You're right.
How do we work the hierarchy of documents out, though, Christine? That's something that I found not so much disconcerting, but didn't have any knowledge of how we could do that.
Well, I guess it's a bit like setting up almost like setting up an electronic filing system. Particularly,
yes,
and it probably is about having someone who's responsible for setting up the structure for a particular group.
But that should be handled by members in club roles. So in this, that should be there, and we wanted to make it as, I know I tried to make it as broad as possible. I've obviously missed something.
Can I ask just the question though, will everyone have access to be able to change that? Or will only certain people be able to amend, add or whatever for particular topics? For instance, and as an example, Jeff is going to be talking in the coming weeks about future vision. No doubt we'll want to put something on the site, not necessarily in discussion, but it could be. Then we really wouldn't want anyone to amend that.
Mm-hmm.
Or to be able to amend it. Not that, it would be something that people would want to go out and do. But the point I'm making is that it probably only should be available for Jeff as the foundation director to be able to change, alter or introduce.
Well, see here, I understand, Ross. I think we should be solving the first problem of getting more access rather than less, so we can see how to restrain it.
Oh yes, I understand that. Thank you.
And so,
I'm not trying to throw a spanner in the works, trust me.
So in the so I'm just trying to look in groups. I can.
Can I cut in, gentlemen and ladies? Sure. I can't contribute to this conversation at all. I'm afraid I know nothing about it, so I might leave at this stage.
How's your batting going?
It's still none for 39. So,
thank you. You're doing well. Please continue.
So far, I'm better go and do my bit. Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Yes. Bye.
Graham here. Perhaps I should exit at this stage. I don't think I can really contribute much.
Good on you, Graham. Thank you.
Okay. We'll
appreciate that.
Righto. All the best.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay. So you have to have a group. So the group you want to put things in, Christine, is all active members. Okay?
Right, yeah, yep.
So that would be a start. Now,
Yep, all active members.
We need to give you this facility over here to add a document. Right?
So where's that? Sorry, hang on.
Can you see
Yeah,
my
see,
screen?
that doesn't, yeah, I don't have that option.
Yeah. So how do I get that? Alright, so if we have documents and we add a group and we'll call it Club Documents. How about that? Start a new one. For start, this is a membership type. Well, here's a dilemma.
Yeah, it has to be private, but then you have to add the club membership to that, right?
Yeah. So where do I add that? So save group. We'll get rid of this. In my screen. Group privileges.
Yep.
So it has to be read-write.
Has to be read-write. And
create a new group. Create a new, it's just trying to create a new group, isn't it?
So the group structure is really is the only way to apply a file structure, is it?
It looks like it, yep.
So where do I put members in?
Do you go to the right to group members?
Am I talking to anybody?
Yeah.
Yep.
You might have to go over to the right hand side to the under group members. Right on the right hand top.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, we're here. Yep.
What have I done? I can't hear anybody else. Can you?
Oh, we can hear you.
We can hear you, Ian. Maybe his hearing aids failed.
So, but I can't hear you. I can hear nothing. Anyway.